He manages what he has always dreamed. He manages it. At Niagara Falls, the first hydroelectric power plant was built based on Tesla's invention, which represents the final victory of the idea of alternating current. And just when it was expected that Tesla finally cashed his funding and become financially stable, Westinghouse company went into crisis, and Tesla decided to tear up the contract as a truly great expression of friendship toward the American businessman. This way, he rejected any profit. Now, next part of the story is called Time of Great Discoveries. Like the discoveries that Tesla made so far were not great enough. But in 1891, he invented Tesla coils. World's Fair in Chicago did it in 1893, and it was the first time that the fluorescent lighting was used. So he printed out names in the World Fair of Faraday, Maxwell, Henry, and Jovan Jovanovic Zmaj. He also showed, at that fair, he showed something that is called Columbus egg. And I would like to show you what is the Tesla's Columbus egg.
Marko, you can turn it up a little bit. Down.
Gravitational field. Material of this egg is a glass, something that is not attracted to the magnet, but it's a very good conductor, and that is the reason why we have that rotation band. You can see what's happening with the egg after 50 years of rotation. There is one very interesting story about this model. Nikola Tesla showed this model at the World Exhibition in Chicago that was opened in 1893. And he had one very funny story. Maybe you know that. Maybe you know that story. Before 500 years, Columbus said to Spanish people, he can put the egg like that in a straight position. And he did that. He hit the egg, boiled egg, and he crashed downward. That was one classic trick. 400 years later, Nikola Tesla said in that exhibition that he can do the same effect, put the egg in that position, but with this rotational magnetic field. And that was a funny story. After that, we have the second name on that model, and it's egg of Columbus. It's not original.
Because it says 50 years of current, that's in this museum.
In this museum, all this model is all
Okay, so this was video showing Columbus egg, which is centered on a principle of rotating magnetic field. The egg of Columbus, or Columbus egg, usually means an idea or discovery that seems simple or easy after the fact. So the expression refers to a popular story of how Columbus, having been told that discovering the Americas was not a great accomplishment, challenged his critics to make an egg stand on its tip. And after they gave up, he did it himself by tapping the egg on the table so as to flatten its tip. So Tesla's egg of Columbus basically is a metal egg that stands on end in a rotating magnetic field. Nikola Tesla at the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago demonstrated that device. He used this Columbus egg to demonstrate and explain the principle of the rotating magnetic field model and the induction motor. Tesla's egg of Columbus performed the feat of Columbus with a copper egg in a rotating magnetic field. So on stage, in front of many visitors at the same fair, he passed high-power 2 million volts current through him, creating a halo of light around him, which caused unprecedented astonishment, fear, and respect. He held a neon lamp in one hand. So neon lamp was lighting, with Tesla holding it in one hand, which was first demonstration of wireless transmission of energy. At that time as well, Tesla worked on the study of what would later be called X-rays. He did not understand the existence of harmful radiation of X-ray, and wounds on his skin appeared while he was taking pictures of his hands. He continued to work on this project, and he worked with Röntgen, to whom he sent an X-ray picture of his hands. However, he never patented his inventions. Much of the data got destroyed in a fire in the laboratory, and all the credit for the discovery of X-ray today belonged to Röntgen, for which Tesla congratulated him. In 1898, he patented wireless system, remote control boats and vehicles. He clearly demonstrated his inventions in New York, and observers were trying to find secret hidden cables in the pool where he was showing remotely controlled boats. Now, during 1899 to 19, Nikola Tesla lived in Colorado Springs, where he implemented perhaps one of his most important research. With the financial assistance of $30,000, which was given to him by the owner of a chain hotel, Waldorf Astoria, he managed to demonstrate that the current of very low frequency can be transmitted in the space between the Earth's crust and the ionosphere. So Tesla was able to pass that current, and he broke 200 light bulb at a distance of about 400 kilometers. So he was satisfied that he knows enough to create his vision of wireless transmission of energy into work. So he returns to New York, where he received financial support from J.P. Morgan in the amount of $150,000 American dollars to build Tesla Center for the transmission of radio waves on Long Island. Long Island is not far from New York. So the impressive tower was built, which he called Wardenclyffe Tesla, with height of over 50 meters with 20 meters high copper dome on the top. It was supposed to represent the first transmission tower in the world through which wireless signals and energy could be sent to any part of the Earth. The invention of the transmission tower turned the Earth into a huge dynamo, producing electrical energy in endless amounts. It is envisaged that using it, they can supply energy to ocean freighters, destroy enemy ships, power the industry, transportation, and immediately enable the communication around the globe. This meant free energy. However, due to disagreements between Tesla and Morgan about the end use of the tower, Morgan withdraws his funds, explaining this action with a question. If anyone can draw on the power, where do we put the meter? So Tesla was again left without a cent. Built but incomplete tower was destroyed in 1917 during the First World War for security reasons. What is left of a large Tesla tower on the site is only 30 meters deep foundation. This part of the speech is called Without Nobel Prize. Nobel. So Tesla, by then and today's views, was certainly eccentric and unusual man. 1915, he got offered the Nobel Prize in Physics, which he was supposed to share with Edison. For unknown reasons, he has not received it, but it is assumed that the reason was long-time conflict of two scientists. Mr. Marconi won the award for his invention of radio. In 1901, Marconi established wireless connection between England and America, and he got probably the biggest award that a man can get. But the biggest part of this invention does not belong to him. Tesla was 8 years ago in Philadelphia, where he held a conference and presented his vision of wireless communication. Only in 1943, U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that the invention of radio is not Marconi's, and that the most of the credit for the invention of radio belongs to Nikola Tesla. A similar case occurred in 1937 when Tesla was again nominated for the award but has not received it. In order to explain the losses of Nobel Prize, Tesla stated that all of his patents remain recorded in the world literature and will be more valuable to mankind than all the Nobel Prizes combined, and he was absolutely right. Tesla's research changed our lifestyle to an extent we are not aware of. Looking from the perspective of a highly developed technological society we live in, Tesla's inventions do not look overly advanced. Still, Tesla's inventions are used every day worldwide in a more or less modified form. The principal basis of his inventions are part of almost every electrical device. During the time Tesla lived and worked, his experiments were bordering science fiction. Even the most famous and distinguished scientists of the period remained speechless in front of the experiments he performed. Considering his contribution to electrical engineering, the assigning of his name to the unit of measure is an adequate recognition of his work. Alright, so now I would like to say some myths about Nikola Tesla. Some people would say that Tesla might have caused the Tunguska event. The infamous Tunguska event took place on June 30th, 1908. A huge explosion estimated to be equivalent to a whooping 10 to 15 megatons of TNT flattened a huge area of 500,000 acres of pine forest near the stony Tunguska River in central Siberia. The devastation was wide-scale, as whole herds of reindeer were destroyed and several nomadic villages were reported to have completely vanished. The explosion was heard over a huge radius of 620 miles. Many scientists and analysts gave many explanations for the Tunguska event. The officially accepted explanation is that 100,000-ton fragment of Encke comet composed purely of dust and ice entered the atmosphere at 62,000 miles per hour, increased its temperature, and exploded over the Earth's surface, creating a fireball and shock wave, but no crater. Alternative explanations of the disaster include a renegade mini black hole or an alien spaceship crashing into the Earth with the resulting release of energy. However, all these explanations might not hold ground because historical facts point to the possibility that this event was caused by a test firing of Tesla's energy weapon. In 1907 and 1908, Tesla wrote about the destructive effects of his energy transmitter. His Wardenclyffe facility was much larger than the Colorado Springs device that destroyed the power station generator. Then, in 1915, Tesla stated bluntly, "It is perfectly practical to transmit electrical energy without wires and produce destructive effects at a distance. I have already constructed a wireless transmitter which makes this possible. But when an unavoidable may be used to destroy property and life, our society now is so far developed that the great destructive effects can be produced at any point on the globe with great accuracy." So the last two items represented some of the many interesting facts about Tesla and many examples that he said he had contacts with the universe, then that he would take free energy from cosmic rays, that he would use the planet as a part of the system for energy, and that nothing of that was not developed. And in the end, he was scared what can be done with the Earth at a time when humanity is not ready to take control of dangerous technologies. So, when Tesla died in 1943 at the age of 87, he was bankrupt and living alone in a New York hotel surrounded by pigeons. His hotel room and meals were paid by George Westinghouse. who remained one of Tesla's loyal friends to the end. So far you heard me saying only positive things about Tesla. How he was brilliant, flawless, and that his only flaw was trying to give free energy to the people. It seems that he is a kind of God, inspiration, motivation to make a better world. But is that actually real Tesla? Or do we have two Teslas? One real, historical, with flaws and just person, and the simulated Tesla. Simulated Tesla that we need in today's society. Some less known facts about Tesla are that he was eugenist. Eugenics is the belief and practice of improving the genetic quality of the human population. It is a social philosophy advocating the improvement of human genetic traits through the promotion of higher reproduction of people with desired traits, positive eugenics, and reduced reproduction of people with less desired or undesired traits, or so-called negative eugenics. So that is a little bit crazy. But the simulated Tesla that we see in the posters, on pictures, in books, maybe that is the simulated Tesla that we need to motivate ourselves to accomplish his ideas in the 21st century. If 100 years ago Tesla was able to build a tower that would broadcast free electrical energy anywhere in the world, why now, when we live in a great technological era, that idea is not even crossing our minds? Yeah. Why we are still polluting the environment with oil and exhaust gases from cars, planes? Why are some countries invading countries in search for more and more harmful power sources? I would like to make a question is the idea of free energy really so scary to the big companies and the people who are controlling the world? Is the possibility that the poorest countries in the world can be completely independent from the help of developed countries? What do you think is simulated Nikola Tesla? And if he is simulated, why we need the myths of Nikola Tesla? Now I want to say this is the latest addition to this speech, because today I noticed previously in the speech I said why that idea of creating free energy based on Tesla's patents is not crossing our mind in the 21st century. But I noticed a post in the Taipei discussion and learning group by Trista Di Genova, which I made on the Taipei discussion learning group. So the YouTube user Barnone11970 has shared a document that contains the information on how to create an actual quantum energy generator based on Nikola Tesla's patent. The group that has made that generator is called Fix the World. And they were in Taiwan a few days ago, actually, teaching Taiwanese students how to build that quantum energy generator based on Tesla's patents. Okay, so now so they share the information. It's in the form of a PDF file, and I printed it out. It's called the Quantum Energy Generator. And I would like to read it about it. So the quantum electric generator system is an adaptation of one of Nikola Tesla's many patented electrical generators. The particular patent reference is number 511916, titled simply Electric Generator, and dated January 2nd, 1894. The adaptation is a conversion from a linear system to a rotary system. The quantum electric generator prototype is scaled to produce electrical power in the range of 10 to 15 kilowatts continuously, and can be set up to provide either 120 volt or 230, 240 volt single phase output. They're also planning future designs to provide three-phase power. Service life of the device is limited only by certain replaceable components, such as bearings, V-belts, and capacitors. The basic machine should operate trouble-free with minimal maintenance for as long as any good quality electromechanical appliance, such as a quality washing machine or refrigerator. Heavy-duty mechanical components are used throughout for reliability. The QEG is not a complicated device, as it is designed like Tesla's other discoveries. They're not very complicated, but they are genius. It's designed to work in harmony with natural laws, rather than with the power-wasting symmetric motor and generator designs used in today's mainstream industry. An effective way to understand the operating principle of QEG is to think of it as a high-powered, self-resonant oscillator which generates high voltage, alternating current. These high voltage oscillations are then transformed into line voltage AC output at current levels up to approximately 85 amperes. In today's alternative energy terminology, it would be called a type of resonance machine. The circuitry that develops high power in this device is really based on an existing but underutilized power oscillator configuration. However, the quantum part of the design has to do with how the generator output is turned for maximum power. Conventional alternators consume more input power than the output power they provide. For example, one brand of power take-off alternator uses 18,000 watts or 24 horsepower to develop 13,000 watts of output power. In the quantum energy generator, input power is used only to maintain resonance, which uses a small fraction of the output power. And once running, the QEG provides this power to its own 1 horsepower motor. This is known as over-unity. Once the machine builds up to the resonant frequency, it powers itself. So it's self-running machine. In the QEG, the exciter coil is used to provide a conduction path to the quantum field into the generator core. This has the effect of polarizing the core, which increases power output over time. Alright, good. So, rest of the document, they shared all the necessary information of how other people can create this machine and all the necessary schematic and all the necessary parts to build this machine. So I would like to skip all this technical stuff and move
Can still not ask question or
not.
So is there a main component that creates electricity in that?
Yeah, it doesn't. It takes the electricity from the quantum field. It takes the electricity from electromagnetic and atmospheric charge. So it's not a, I say, perpetual mobile machine. It doesn't create energy out of nothing. It's just a way. It's a self-running machine that would create free energy for the society. So at the end of their document, they shared some frequently asked questions about it. So maybe it will spare your time to ask. So the first question is, where is the energy this device is using coming from? So the answer is quantum field. How much overall power does the QEG produce? It's 10 kilowatts. Some design scaled up can produce 40 kilowatts. Okay, and there's one question that is not answered. It's called, if free energy devices work, why aren't the electric companies using them? So this question is not answered. They only said this should be obvious.
Is the Earth need this electromagnetic field?
What's that?
Is the Earth, does it need this electromagnetic field that you're using? If we are using
what
a
do you mean, does it
100,000
mean?
machine tomorrow, is it going to do something to the Earth?
You mean is it going to suck all that energy? Yeah, I don't think so. Or at least not for our millions of years. Okay, one more question. How is the QEG started up if it doesn't require fuel? So it's not, so as I said, when I said free energy, it's not completely free. We need initial energy to spin machine up to resonance. At that point, it will run itself. It can be started using existing electrical power if available, or a crank mechanism, or a battery-powered motor start system. A battery start system could also keep its own batteries fully charged by tapping some power from the generator. My next question is, how long will the quantum energy generator run? So the answer is indefinite, or until parts wear out. How did the QEG improve upon Tesla's work? This design adapts the linear reciprocating element of the patent to a rotating element, and some electronics are employed for added stability, controlled amount of power, and correct frequency range. Next question is, does the QEG slow down when more of a load is added? The answer is no, it's not that type of energy. And next question is, what form of energy does QEG use? And the answer is electromagnetic and atmospheric charge. And the last question, that what I think is the most important, does the QEG emit radiation? That is, does the QEG pollute the environment? And the answer is no, it's not that type of energy.